What's up y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me using all of my go-to products. I did have one of you suggest this down in my comment section, and it sounded like fun because it's been a while since I've kind of sat down and gone over my products that I'm absolutely loving at the moment. I do have a video up on my channel with all of my Holy Grail products, but those change. We get new products that come out, our skin changes, our preferences change, the seasons change, things like that, and these are the products that as of this moment that I'm really going for. We're moving into summer. It is hot. It is humid down here in Texas. We're in the kind of weather where you can break out into a sweat walking from your house to the car. Kid you not, it's gross, it's sticky, and I've changed up the way that I do my makeup right now because of that. So we're gonna go ahead and do our makeup together. You can listen to me, put me on in the background, or if you wanna do your makeup with me, that would be fun too. But I will link and list all of the products that I'm using down in the description box below as usual. So if you have any questions about any of the products that I'm using, always check down there. Now, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. I have already done all of my skincare. My hair is out of my face. We're gonna ignore the hair. I have my dry shampoo in, and I like to let it sit while I do my makeup and then kind of zhuzh it in a little bit, brush it out, and we're usually good to go. But let's go ahead and start with primers. So for primers, I have two of them right here that I really love in the summer. This one I haven't used in the summer yet. It's actually a pretty new primer, but this one I used a lot last summer and it worked perfect for my skin. So this is the Gucci Mattifying Primer with Shine Control. And then I also have the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Poreless Primer. So for reference, I am 38 years old. I do live in a very hot, humid climate. I'm down here in Houston, Texas. I have a normal skin type, so I don't lean oily, I don't lean dry, anything like that. And I usually prefer a more medium to light coverage foundation. And I like my skin to be very skin-like. I don't like it to be too shiny. I don't like it to be too matte. I just like it to feel and look very natural. So like I said, I do have a very normal skin type, but with the summers here and it gets so hot, I tend to sweat, my makeup tends to break up. So if I go for something that's a little more mattifying, it holds on a little bit better. Okay, so now that I have that mattifying primer all over my face, I'm gonna go in with the Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm really just gonna take a little bit on my fingers, and I'm just gonna go around my nose and kind of in my T-zone where I tend to get a little sweatier. I know it's gross, but you know what? It is what it is. Our body has to perspire, and yeah, I sweat. I'm naturally hot-natured and I can't help it. So I just like to go right around my nose, kind of press it in a little bit, especially where my glasses sit, because the sweat likes to collect right there. My glasses like to slide down my nose, and if I kind of make sure that it's really secure, I don't have that problem quite as much. Okay, so I've let those primers sit on my face for a good 2 to 3 minutes. I'd like to let them absorb before I go in with more product. It helps to keep everything from pilling up, looking cakey, all of that. You really want to let your skincare and your primers absorb into your skin, so products aren't just sitting on top of each other, they're meshing well. But next we're going to go in with the Catrice Soft Glam Filter. I have absolutely been loving this. If you've been watching, you know that this has quickly replaced my Auric Glow Lust. This is so good. It's affordable. It's from the drugstore. It adds just the perfect amount of glow to my skin without being heavy, without being oily, without adding like an extra layer to my makeup where it feels cakey. And it's been a go-to for me. I've really enjoyed it. So I'm just gonna kind of buff this into my skin, bring a little bit of glow and life back to it without disrupting the rest of my makeup. I'm so sorry my camera cut out, but for foundation, I am still loving the Prada Reveal foundation. This one came out earlier this year, and it's super lightweight, but it's a medium coverage. It looks flawless on the skin. It doesn't cake, it doesn't feel heavy, and it takes very little of it. I'm excited to see how this is gonna hold up in the summer since I haven't used it in the hot, humid months a whole lot yet. We're just getting into summer here. In fact, last week my kids finished up school. This is the official first week of summer for them. It's hard to believe that they're done, and next year we're going to be going into our junior and senior years of high school. It's mind-blowing to think that in a couple of years my kids are going to be done with school. They're going to be moving on. They're both going to be in college. They're going to be working on the rest of their lives, and it's just a crazy, like, very emotional but like surreal and proud moment as a parent. If you have kids that have graduated or have approached that point in their life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's fun. The senior festivities have already begun. My oldest son has already gotten his class ring. He's already gotten his senior parking spot. They do a really cool thing here. I don't know if they do it everywhere, but they get to pick a parking spot of their choice and then they get to paint it. So it gives like a personality to it, and we're about to start that. So we'll see how all this makeup holds up while I'm sitting outside in like 100-degree weather working on painting a parking spot. That should be interesting. All right, complexion's looking good. Let's move on to concealer. So I went ahead and pulled my Cali Ray Hideaway Serum Concealer. I absolutely love this. It's super lightweight. It does have a pink tinge to it. It's not as scary as it looks on the website, but it also has like a very wet cooling effect to it. It's absolutely beautiful under the eyes. It's more of like a light to medium coverage. I don't have a whole lot of darkness under my eyes. For me, it's more so fine lines and bags, things like that. And this just really kind of corrects everything. It sits really nicely. It's not super thick and heavy. And I feel like it's really flattering under my eyes. I absolutely love this. But I want to know, do y'all have any plans for the summer? Do y'all have any vacations coming up? We don't have a whole lot going on. My boys are actually on vacation with their grandma right now for about a week, so they won't be home until Sunday. And other than that, we don't really have a whole lot planned. We'll probably do some things around here, hang around, go to like water parks, Top Golf, probably bowling, movies, things like that. Both of my boys have summer birthdays, so they're about to turn 16 and 17, and we've got some of their birthday plans coming up, things like that. They're both July babies. All right, you guys, I don't know what's happening. My camera cut out again. We don't even have any storms going on today. Hopefully it won't happen again. If it does, I might have to scrap this and start over, but I'm just bronzing up my skin with my NARS Laguna Cream Bronzer. I absolutely love this one. It is so creamy. It's buildable. It melts into the skin so nicely. It's really like very user friendly. It's not very hard to use. It's really hard to kind of mess this up just because it melts into the skin so beautifully. But I will say a really good alternative to this one is the Milani Cream Bronzer that came out earlier this year. I debated going for that one because I've kind of been back and forth between the two, but I just love the NARS, and it's been out longer, and it's almost an OG favorite of mine. I know it's not really old enough to be an OG, but for me, I absolutely love this one. I love the color of it. I love the tone of it. It is a little bit more on the warm side, but since we're getting into summer, I don't mind a little bit more warmth to my bronzer. All right, let's go ahead and jump into blush. This does change depending on what eyeshadow look I'm doing. I did decide to do a purple look today because it's my absolute favorite. It's kind of like a signature look for me. I feel really confident in it. It makes my eyes pop. It's one of my favorites. It's like my power color when it comes to makeup. But, you know, that mood changes all the time. There's days that I like to do more of a neutral eyeshadow look. There's days that I like to just pop a shimmer on the lid and go, maybe do an eyeshadow stick, things like that. But we're going to do a purple look today. So my go-to blushes whenever I do that, first up is this one from Phytosurgeons. This is Condensate. This is a very cool tone, like mauvey shade. So I like to put this on under my powder products, and then I have another blush that I like to put on over that to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with a Singe Beauty F03 brush. These actually fit perfectly in this little bitty pot. These are very, very pigmented, but they're so beautiful on the skin. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. I like to build these up. I don't like to go in super hard because they can really get away from you. But if you build them up, they look beautiful on the skin. Look at how beautiful that color is. Oh, I absolutely love it. I love a cool tone mauvey shade blush. Like that and pink has been my go-to lately. I've been obsessed with both of them, but I feel like I've been using a lot of pink blushes lately. So that's kind of why I gravitate a little bit towards this as well. Plus, like I said, this goes really well with a purple eyeshadow look. But back to the whole vacations topic. I want to know if y'all have anything planned. If you're going anywhere, do you do like a big summer family vacation every year? We try and do some sort of vacation every year. It's not always a big one just because I can't always manage to do a great big huge one, but this year our big vacation is actually at New Year's. We're going to Disney World and we're gonna be in Disney for New Year's. It's gonna be so fun. I'm super excited. I have not been to Disney in 23 years. It was December of 2001 last time that I went. I was in high school and I haven't been since. My boys have been, but they haven't been since they were, oh, I think maybe 8 and 9, something like that. They went with their dad and their grandma and they haven't been back since. So they're super excited because they're finally old enough to ride all of the rides, to do all of the things, and there's some new attractions, there's new things going on. They'll have a little bit more of appreciation for things like Epcot and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with my Pat McGrath blurring under eye powder in the shade Baby Pink. I absolutely love this. This has quickly replaced my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush Powder, whatever you call it. It's got a name to it. But this has quickly replaced that because this is so blurring, so smoothing, finely milled, lightweight, and it has just the tiniest pigment of pink to it. Not enough that it's going to like really make your under eyes look pink, but if you have a cool tone skin tone, this is gonna be beautiful. So anyways, like I was saying, we're planning our trip to Disney for December. Super excited. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been. It's been a little while since my boys have been, but we're ready. So because of that, we're not going to do a huge family trip this summer. We're going to wait until then. Plus, senior year's coming up. I've got 2 in a row. Senior year is expensive from what I hear. Like I said, it's already begun, and it was still junior year when it started, so it's a lot, but we're excited. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face real quick with my Hourglass Veil Loose Setting Powder. This is a holy grail of mine. I have loved this for so many years. It sets everything down and holds your makeup in place, but it doesn't mattify the skin. And for me, I don't like to look matte. I don't think it's flattering on my skin. I don't produce enough oil to make anything look more natural on my skin. So for me, whenever I use matte makeup, it stays matte all day. Now there is a time and place for that. Whenever I know I'm gonna be out in the heat or it's gonna be a really long day and I want to make sure that my makeup is really gonna hold up, that's when I like to go in with a more mattifying powder and things like that. And then usually I'll just kind of set it with a dewy setting spray and it kind of brings everything back together. But this powder has been a favorite and it's definitely worth the hype. It's definitely worth the coin in my opinion. And I'm actually almost out of it. I'm gonna have to buy a new one soon. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more blush on. I like to be a little heavy on the blush, add a lot of color to my skin. It is the one thing that no matter what, it kind of fades throughout the day. It can go on, be really bright, and then at the end of the day, it's not quite as bright. So I like to go in with a cream and then a powder over top so I can really make sure that I lock that color in place. And I'm gonna go in with this one from Haus Labs. This is the shade Lavender Blonde. This is one of their original launches, and I think this was a limited edition color that they actually don't have anymore. I wish they would bring it back because this one is gorgeous. But they did come out with their sticks, their cream blushes. I guess they're balms is what they are, but they're for the cheeks and the lips per everything else that's coming out right now. And they have a color that looks really similar to this. I want to pick it up so I can kind of layer those two together, but I just haven't done it yet. There's so many launches coming out right now. We're in the year of the blush. Like, I have all these blushes that I've been trying out. I have 3 more that are actually on the way to me as we speak, and it's just so hard to keep up. I love blush. I love a liquid blush. I love testing new formulas, new products, things like that. And you have to kind of know when to step back and go, okay, you're on overload. You've got too many. It can wait. It will still be there. It's not going anywhere. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing restraint. I'm holding back because, like I said, I've got a lot to try out. There's a lot coming out and I can't test it all. Okay, before we do a highlighter, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some finishing powder onto my skin. I know it sounds a bit excessive, but it's all super lightweight and it just looks so beautiful when it's done. But I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I love this thing. I have used it like nobody's business. I've hit pan on this middle one and I'm gonna have to buy another one soon. But what I like to do is just take my brush and go over all of them, and then I just kind of lightly sweep it over my skin where I want to be a little extra glowy, and just kind of bring a little bit of life back to the skin. Sometimes I do this in place of highlight, sometimes I do this as an extra step, and today I'm feeling a little extra. So for highlighter, I'm going to go in with my Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. This is in the shade Pink. I have really been enjoying this. This has really put me back onto liquid highlighters because the formula is so beautiful. It's very forgiving, it's not hard to work with, and it's not like over the top when it comes to a glow. It just has this really pretty like lit from within glow. You can build it up, you can sheer it out. It doesn't lift up my powder that's underneath, and I absolutely love that. I went ahead and did my brows off camera. There's not a lot to it. They're tattooed on. So really, I just kind of go back in and fill in where powder, foundation, things like that got anywhere they faded a little bit. I'm a creature of habit. I don't have a lot of brow products. Once I find something that I really like and works for me, I kind of stick to it. But I did go in with the Dominique Cosmetics brow frame in the shade Cool Deep Brown. And then to set everything in place, my Urban Decay Big Bush Brow in the shade Brunette Betty. I also set my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Let's go ahead and move on to eyes. So for my eyeshadow look today, I went ahead and pulled the Bella Beauty Bar Basic Witch Palette. This one came out around Halloween last year. It's absolutely stunning. It's a favorite of everybody's. It's got beautiful purples in it, and I'm excited to use this. So for my look, I kind of want to stick to right here, do something a little bit monochromatic. So I'm going to start with Hex, go into Black Magic, Hectate, and then we'll probably deepen up with a little bit of Black Cat, and then figure out what I want to do on my lid as far as a shimmer goes. So I'm just going to kind of speed through this really quickly. We can kind of chit chat a little bit. I will have everything linked and listed down in the description box. Like I said, I will try and put the colors down there that I used. So if you want to create this, you can go back and look. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with a Singe Beauty EO3 brush and fluff this into my crease. So I'm just taking the same brush with the shade Black Magic and building up a little bit more of that gradient into my crease. And just, ooh, bless you. Poor baby, she had a big old sneeze. But anyways, I'm just building up that gradient. Hi, baby. Hello, did you have good sneezes? Katie has allergies. Allergies like nobody's business. Like she is on some allergy drops, which is basically like allergy shots, but in the form of a drop that she gets twice a day, every single day. She also gets Apoquel and she gets Benadryl as well. So she's allergic to like everything. When I say everything, I think there's like 60 something things that she's allergic to. My boys would know better than I do because they memorize that paper practically, but pretty much she's allergic to outside. She's allergic to grass, trees, dust, pollen, mites. I think she's even allergic to cats. So, yeah, her allergies are flaring up a little bit, but all that medication tends to keep her at bay. So it works, it does the trick, it is what it is. But continuing on, I'm going to build up some more definition and some more depth with these colors. But what I was saying is Bella Beauty Bar has quickly become one of my favorite indie brands. I feel like over the past year, they have really improved their formula and taken off. And you know how there's like your favorite indie brands, like you love them, they're really, really good. And you have those brands that you would absolutely buy anything from. It doesn't matter what they release. They could release a palette full of 50 shades of brown and you would buy it. And then there's the other brands that are just like, oh, I like that. That's a really pretty palette, but I don't need it. Bella Beauty Bar is the former. It doesn't matter what they release. I want it. I want all of them. I'm so excited to see what else they come up with. I love their color stories. I love how they're always keeping you on your toes with different themes, with different sizes, shapes, things like that. I like it when brands branch out. I know a lot of people like it when brands are very uniform and all their palettes kind of stacked together. I think it's fun to see brands do different things and just play around and have fun with their makeup. and take that same shade and I'm gonna put it right here on my lower lash line, but not all the way over. I'm gonna take about halfway over. So I'm taking that same brush, I just wiped it off, and I'm kind of bouncing in between these two shades right here, kind of mixing them, and I'm gonna finish off my lower lash line right here. But what's y'all's favorite indie brand? What is that one brand that no matter what they do, you're there, you're on board, you're there for launch day, you've got alarm set, you're excited about it, like you'll never get rid of it. You don't care if you have that color story, you could absolutely care less. Like they could re-release this palette, same exact thing, different cover art, different name, I would repurchase it. I am that person that I just love a good formula, and I feel like Bella Beauty Bar really has a good one. I don't know which palette is my favorite though. I love this one, but I also love the Ultraviolet palette that they did in a collaboration with Deandra Nicole. Okay, so I do think I'm gonna go ahead and deepen up my outer corner with this shade right here. But then for shimmer, we're gonna do this one all over the lid. This one is called Resting Witch Face. It's my favorite shade in the palette. And then we're gonna do Perfectly Wicked on the inner corner. But what is your favorite indie brand? What's your favorite palette from that indie brand? Like I said, I don't know what my favorite palette is necessarily from Bella Beauty Bar. It's really hard to pick, but they're just all so good. I do absolutely love the new one, the Secret Garden palette. That one is stunning, absolutely gorgeous. It is very heavy on the pink and green, but it's done in such a unique way, and their shimmers get me every single time. Like they have a fantastic matte formula. It's definitely one of my favorites. My favorite indie brands always kind of move around because you get new indie brands that come up and new formulas and innovation and things like that, and so it kind of changes. I've always said that I love Unearthly and Odin's Eye, but let me tell you what, Bella Beauty Bar has quickly climbed the ranks, and there's some other brands as well that I absolutely love that are newer to the scene and I'm excited about, but I don't know, it's really hard to choose, especially when you have a huge collection and you just love makeup. I love that. Okay, let's move on to the shimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with my NYX glitter primer that I absolutely love. I use this for every single shimmer. If you've been here, you already know it just really holds my shimmers in place. It makes them pop. It keeps them from creasing, and I love it. It's perfect. Plus, it's affordable. It is not expensive. It is super affordable. It's like a few bucks. What is it, under 10 bucks now? I think whenever it first came out, it was like $3, and it's I think maybe gone up to $8 or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've bought one because it lasts forever, but let's go ahead and throw some shimmer on this lid. So this is the shade Resting Witch Face. Like, look at how absolutely gorgeous that multi-chrome is with all of those shifts in it. It is so pretty. I think this is a lot of people's favorite one in the palette, but I love a good multi-chrome. I love a good just basic shimmer as well, and I feel like there's definitely a time and place for that. I don't want to wear something like this every single day. It all depends on my mood. I feel like makeup is definitely dependent on your mood, but I would pick a multi-chrome all day every day if my mood would allow for it. Alright, so I'm picking up the shade Perfectly Wicked on my pinky, and I'm just going to pop this right here into my inner corner with my pinky. I've been really enjoying using my pinky for my inner corner. It's working really well. I feel like I struggle with picking up shimmers with a brush, and I have watched so many people do this. I have watched beauty YouTube for years, and I've watched so many people pick up their shimmers with a brush and they put them on and they look so beautiful, and then I go in, same brush, same shimmer, same everything that they do, and I just cannot get the color payoff. I don't know if I'm not patient enough or if I'm not picking up enough, but I don't know. I just feel like I can pick it up with my finger and put it on so much easier. It's so much more consistent. I get a better color payoff, and it's the one part of my makeup I don't mind putting on with my fingers. But let's go ahead and move on to some liner. So for liner, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my Glam Light Calligrapher eyeliner for my lid. And what do I want to do for my lower lash line? That's the question. And this is going to complete the eye look with the Basic Witch palette. This is a very me look. Like I said, purple is a power color when it comes to an eyeshadow shade for me, and I love the way this turned out. I did go ahead and line with my Glam Light Calligrapher liner, and then for my waterline, I landed on just a nude eyeliner. This one is from Melt. This is the Slick Waterline Eye Pencil in the shade Ivory. I prefer a nude over a white. I feel like a white can be a little too stark. There's definitely a time and place for it, but for this look, I felt like nude would go better. It kind of ties in to that shimmer on the lid, and I really enjoy it. This is also waterproof. It lasts all day, so if you have watery eyes like I do, it's not going to come off. And then for mascara, I went in with my Lancome Idol Lash waterproof mascara. This is a favorite of mine. It's been a holy grail for years. It's not the most lengthening, it's not the most volumizing, but if you have watery eyes, especially like allergy season, the summer, my eyes get really watery in the summer, this holds up. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it coming off, running down my face, messing up my makeup, anything like that. It's a little harder to get off at the end of the night, but if you go in with like a really good makeup removing balm or even an oil-free eye makeup remover, it gets rid of it no problem. Just a little bit more persistent. But let's go ahead and move on to lips real quick. We'll set the face and then we'll be done. So for my lips, I pulled out a Lawless Definer liner. This is in the shade Pink Sand. This is a newer one to me. I got this during the Sephora Spring Savings event, but I've really been enjoying this liner. It was in my recent raking video and I love it. And then we're going to top it off with the Haus Labs PhD Lip Glaze. Yes, that's what it's called. This is in the shade Guava. I love these as well. I think it's a beautiful formula. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips real quick, put on the gloss, set my face, and then I'll come back and show you the completed look. And that's going to complete this look using all of my go-to products as of late. I did go ahead and set my face with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. This is a really good one. I tried to use the LYS, but for some reason my sprayer is not working. I'm not really sure why. I'll have to see if I can figure that out later. So instead I went in with this one. It's a really good one, but I've said it before, the Milani Make It Last. Same exact thing, less than half the price, so that's what I would repurchase in the future. But that's going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I love the way my makeup turned out. Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are some of your holy grails? What are your go-tos? What's your power color for eyeshadow? Your favorite indie brand? All of the things. I love chatting with y'all down in the comment section. Let's light it up, have that conversation. And as usual, I want to thank you all so much for spending your time with me and watching my video. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.